news, views, voices of the global Indian community. India abroad.
When I was offered the doctorate honorary causa from State University of England, I was so happy, and I thought that I should work further for the cause of education. People mentioned here about the importance of education, because many of you have come from various parts of India, serving here in industry as well as in education. All of us know that if a country has good education, it will come up economically. It will help the family, the society, and the country. In Tamil we say, "Uyarkalli veetayum uyarthum, naatayum uyarthum." I don't know there is any other language which gives so much importance to education. 2000 years ago, or 2100 years ago, Thiruvalluvar said, "Ennanba yana eluthanba, ivirandum kannanba vaazhum uyarka." Only if you are educated, what you have is your eyes, otherwise it is not. About the 16th century, there was a king who was also a poet. His name was Adivera Rama Pandya. I don't know how many of you know it. But what he said is almost known to all of us. Karkai nandre, pichai puginum karkai nandre. This is addressed to the poor people. Even if you don't have enough money, you beg and get education. But the other way, the revolutionary poet Bharati, who addressed the well-to-do people and said, here it was quoted, because normally well-to-do people, they donate to temples, chowdhuries, etc. He said, "Anna satyaram ayiram nattal, Anna satyaram ayiram vaital, Alayam padinayiram nattal, Angu yavinum punniyam kodi, Angor yezhaikku ezhutharivitthan." That's what Bharati said. Instead of building thousands of chowdhuries and many thousands of temples, educate poor children. That's the importance of education, and all of us know about it. But we have been trying in India for the last so many years, especially myself, in various capacities, to impress upon the government to spend more on education. Because education is not a priority in our country. It is because of the parents higher education exists in India. If it is left only to government, it will be only a few percentage. Even with the great effort of parents, our gross enrollment ratio in India is only 27% in higher education. Whereas it is nearly 90% in US. In all the developed countries, it is between 60 to 100%. In fact, there are two countries, South Korea and Australia, claim 100%. So we have to compete with them, and we want to make Vellore a model. Not only that we want to grow, also it should be helpful to the society. What started in 1984 as a small college, because of the pressure of MGR, I wanted him to start a government college in Nathalkar district. He told me that I don't have money. If you are interested, you start one, I will give you permission. That's how this institution was born in 1984. The first batch of self-financing colleges in Tamil Nadu. We cannot forget two people in Tamil Nadu for education, the Tamil Nadu being number one in education. In school education, it was Kamaraj, who opened more than 12,000 schools during his lifetime, about 9.5 years. And it was, all the chief ministers worked for it, but MGR was responsible for starting the self-financing institutions. And he offered permission for 8 people while he was there. And now it has become more than 400 engineering colleges, other arts and science colleges, etc. That's how we are leading. Even though the average India is 27% GER, Tamil Nadu has crossed 50%. So it is, that's how Tamil Nadu and Kerala is able to lead economically also because of education. We find it is happening all over the world. All the underdeveloped countries or developing countries who are poor in education, their economies are poor, the per capita income is also less than $1,000. See, for example, some of the African countries, they're all less than $1,000 or less than $2,000. Whereas all the advanced countries, it varies from 50, 60,000 up to 85,000 US. This is the real truth, and we have to concentrate on education. That's where we want to make VIT not only our students, of course our students, they hail from all parts of India, all the states of India, and 71 countries are studying there. What started as with 180 students, now in Vellore we have 40,000 students and 88,000 students in Vellore, Chennai, Amaravati, Bhopal, and now Bangalore is coming up. And I strongly believe that this small number will not help the country, because they always say small is beautiful. But I believe in quantity as well as quality, because we are a huge country with 140 crores, 1.4 billion, and we have to educate more children. And that's why we request the government to allocate more. So far, we have not crossed 3% of the GDP. Normally, any good country should spend 6% of the GDP on education, and we have not crossed. I think about 50, 60 years ago, Dr. Radhakrishnan Commission recommended that 6% of the GDP should be spent on education. After 50 years, again that recommendation has been made. It means that we have not done it, we have not achieved it, because it always we give priority to other areas and education is left out, it comes far behind. I hope sometime we will also be able to spend like other countries, and our poor students and middle class students will have access to education. That's where we are trying as a model. We are doing two things. One is called STARS, support the advancement of rural students. This is only to encourage poor rural students who are studying in government schools. We take one boy and one girl from each district and give them everything free, education, boarding, lodging, everything. Till they get a job, we take care of them. That makes a lot of change. So far, 1,000 students are benefited from Tamil Nadu. Now we are implementing it. Apart from Tamil Nadu, we are implementing it in Andhra Pradesh as well as Madhya Pradesh. There is another thing which we do is Universal Higher Education Trust. This was started about 10 years ago. We want to make Vellore district a model, even though we want all of the districts to do it, but it's not possible. So in these 13 assembly segments, the undivided Vellore district, we ask everybody not to stop with class 10 or 12, especially girls. Otherwise, if they fail, they will get married at the age of 15, 16, etc. Now, our endeavor is that everybody should get higher education, either a degree or a diploma. We give them scholarship. So far, we have helped 8,600 students in Vellore district alone. And I would like to thank all our teachers and non-teaching staff. They contribute 1 day's salary in a year, and that goes to a lot of money. This year they gave 85 lakhs from Vellore campus alone. All the 4 campuses put together, it was 1 crore and 35 lakhs. We give it to the trust. They give it on my birthday. I hand it over to the trust, and immediately it is dispersed to the poor students. And